All right, so I guess I'll be doing a little bit of empowerment, I guess I could say for you guys. But throughout our lives, we have a bunch of obstacles, trials, problems that we go through. According to a quote by Buckaroo Banzai, no matter where you go, there you are. And I completely agree with that because throughout all these complications in life, throughout all the obstacles, you still got to pull through it. I'll give you a few personal examples. First, I'd like to say, of course, obvious, school. We're all going to school to have a career. So for the long run, we get to live a comfortable life. With whoever you want, your friends or family, to have what you enjoy and do what you enjoy. But of course, sometimes that may not go the way you want. Like personally, well, right now I'm an environmental science major, but that's not what I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to do marine biology or zoology. Marine biology is a complication. I'm actually scared of deep water, but where life has led me, I'm going towards environmental science because that's what I think is my calling to do. What I want to do now. Even though before as a kid, I've always wanted to want to do something with animals, be a veterinarian, do something like that. But another example was like a personal thing with family. This past December, actually, I went to vacation in the Philippines. And when I was there, it wasn't expected, but just so happened while I was there, my grandfather passed. And it is a life-changing event, especially for me and my family. But throughout, even though going through that obstacle, we went there for a vacation, to spend time with family, to see them and everything. In the end, like we all thought it out, it was a good thing that we were there, to be there with like his last time kind of thing. But just to conclude, again, no matter where you go, there you are. Through all the obstacles, the trials, all the complications, you're right where you need to be. Thank you. That's always one.
Every day he would say the same thing. At the end of the day,
I'm so Are you doing here? Are you doing improv? Yes. I don't know. I feel like you're gonna kill it though. Just like you kill those slaves.
It's gotta be.
Hey, let's get my turns right. Wait, did you guys put my hood? I feel like that's what you're That's what you guys
All right, Matthew, there's an odd aside that you have at the beginning of the speech. I'm not exactly sure whether you're addressing the audience or you're doing something to kind of reduce your anxiety. So that you want to kind of avoid that and have a more definitive start of the speech. I thought that when you got going, you did a good job. You identified the quote. It wasn't quite clear what it was you were saying about it. It seemed like it was a reasonable interpretation of the quote. At the end of the speech, I thought you had a clearer statement of what it was you wanted us to get from your speech than you had at the beginning of the speech. So the conclusion worked pretty effectively there. Content-wise, the material is actually structured internally. It's not previewed at the beginning, but I could see distinct points as you were talking about those things. It would be nice if there was a little bit more plan to it as opposed to just the examples that you're using to structure things. The presentation issues, your voice projects very well most of the time. Occasionally there's a little bit of a dropout, but usually you are doing a consistent job of speaking to the audience in a loud and direct way. There's good energy in your voice too when you're speaking, and I like that. Everything is fluent while you're speaking. There are a few indicators with your gestures. Your facial expressions I thought actually looked a lot more animated than the gestures were. Your eye contact with the audience, you have a tendency to look out at the audience, but again, I don't see you engaging the audience, mostly kind of they're out there and you're looking in their direction. Maybe you make an occasional contact, but I think you could do a little bit more. Your body movement, look, from the very beginning, I thought you seemed engaged while you were speaking to us, and you had a posture that suggested that you were kind of in control, so I thought that was solid. I didn't see anything that I thought was indicative of anxiety. Like I said, I liked the conclusion of the speech. I thought that it was a little bit clearer what you were saying at the end of the speech than at the beginning of the speech. I didn't count them. I didn't find them too problematic, but you might want to be careful about the you-knows. You know? Yeah, you probably don't realize it. Most people don't realize how much they do those kinds of things. So when you watch your speech, I didn't count them, but maybe you should. That should be something you should put in your comments. All right? Count them up as you're going, and then when you put in your comments, tell me how many you've noticed.